Easy now, folks. I figured I would do a quick update on the Jewelry 450 because, well, firstly, people seem to be interested, and secondly, because I'm excited about it. Yeah, I mean, I've been running it just over a couple of weeks so far and delighted so far. There are a couple of things I've changed up, so I'll go through those things with you real quick. But I'm loving this tank. I really, really am. I think it's great. The first thing is a confession that I'm an idiot, as Fishy Bits with his head pointed out, when I mentioned the lid not fitting exactly flush. Well, that's because these red clips are just for when a tank's being transported. They are not supposed to be a permanent feature, and as you can see, the lids fits flush once you remove them. They came out quite easily too, so thanks Fishy Bits for that. And yeah, I am a Wally. The plants have all been melting pretty hard, but that's to be expected. It's not a concern at all. They're just adjusting to the new water, so you can maybe see in the middle of that pink flamingo there are new leaves appearing, new pink leaves, so looks like they're recovering already. They're also covered in algae, absolutely covered. The Madagascar lace plant at the back, those leaves at the bottom, they're all brown. As you can see, that died back, and the whole plant was brown. But that's starting to revive as well. The leaves you can see at the back there are nice and green, how we'd expect them to be. So I keep getting photobombed by them rainbows there. Look, the valves, you can see all the dead stuff, but you can also see the stuff that's springing back. So pretty cool with that. But while we're on about the algae here, look, you can see how bad it is all up the side of the glass there, especially that kind of brown diatom algae you get with silica substrate at first. I'm not sweating it though. I'm not doing anything about it, in fact, even though it's everywhere. Well, I'm scraping it off the front glass because I want to enjoy the tank, but everywhere else I've just left it. You see it all over the back there. The reason I'm leaving it for now is because the algae is using up all the excess nutrients. As the plants start to grow and prosper, you see the plant at the back there is starting to come in. There's some new leaves there. They'll start competing for the nutrients and everything will balance out. So that said, I have hired a wee squad, a wee team, wee group of Ottos here. Otto sinkless catfish. And the reason I've got them is because I would like them to start maybe clearing off some of the algae from the plant leaves. That will help the plants to thrive and grow in faster, hopefully. I always like to drip acclimate Otto sinkless. I do find they can be a little bit delicate, so just get our wee airline run into the main tank with a couple of drips per second coming in. But yeah, like I say, hopefully they're going to help me out with the plant growth. Otherwise, that's all I'm worrying about in terms of algae control at the moment, because it's helping to keep the excess nutrients down, isn't it? There is something I don't really understand about the filter. I mean, so far it's doing a great job. I'm not saying it's not, but if we can get the lid off here, right? This is just one of the places where the water gets in. Down there is all our media, and here is the pump that's drawing all the water through, right? So why on earth there's a big gap here so that the water can bypass the media, and another one down there. There's another one on the side of the filter to the right there. So I don't get that, right? I don't see how that's efficient. My quick fix then is to just stick one of these sponge pads down to cover the holes. So although water will transfer through, detritus will get stuck and the rest of it will be forced down into the media. And I'll do the same for the hole on the side. I've messed about with the layout in the cupboards underneath a wee bit. So at the bottom now we have the foods that I use most often and some of the other supplies. Then on the top we've got our live food, so our brine shrimp hatchery and our grindle worms, micro worms. But most importantly, I've now got my electrics up on this shelf too. The thinking behind this is, right, so these wires here, they're the ones that go up to the filter and the light, so they're going to run all the way down to the bottom and then back up to that shelf. So if there's any water spillage or condensation that runs down the wires, they're going to drip off the bottom and won't go into the electrics. I do have drip loops on all the wires, but hopefully that should help out too. Something I hadn't really anticipated when selecting the white cabinet, which I probably should have done, is it does show up the dust that settles. There's some there and a wee bit of dried moss that's fallen, and it kind of really shows up. So I bought myself a wee treat. Check this out. A Jedi Knight duster. Brilliant. Never too old for lightsaber noises, aren't we not? Sorry about that. Can't help myself. Anyway, it is perfect for getting in all the wee nooks and crannies there. Pulls the dust out, no problem at all. It's actually a microfiber duster. Pretty cool. Cleans up all over, including the lid there, look. There we go. There's Team Otto getting straight to business, like I knew they would. Great little fish. Definitely one of the best fish for tackling certain kinds of algae and in certain circumstances. One wee problem I've had with this aquarium is getting Malaysian trumpet snails into it. I use MTS in all my planted tanks. I think they're super beneficial for planted tanks, but every time I drop them in here, the acaras come straight over and eat them. My solution to that is put a barrel load in. So I took the time to collect 250 Malaysian trumpet snails from other tanks. Look at this one, he's a Brutus. You ever seen an MTS as big as that? Well, my plan is anyway, I am gonna wait till lights out, wait until everybody's settled down a wee bit, and then drop all 250 in while it's dark, and hopefully some of them will be able to bury down and start establishing a colony. Anyway, like I said, just a quick update now that I've been using the tank for a few weeks. Like I said before, I'm delighted with it. I really think it's a smashing tank. I am loving that there's a big internal filter. Although it definitely could be optimized, it's doing a stand-up job as standard already, so I'm pretty happy with that. As you'll probably know, I've used a lot of filters in the past, and the thing that this has over other internal filters is it's much bigger, so more capacity for media. I do like having the back filters, but it's not really appropriate in this case because of the lid, and it gets rid of canisters, doesn't it? Which, although many of them are very, very good, they're not without their inherent problems. So I love the design of this aquarium. I think the lights are great, the plants are responding well. If you're considering getting one yourself, I reckon it's a very nice choice.